Hey guys, it's Christine. Welcome back to the channel. A little while ago, well, kind of a long while ago, Weebob posted another community question asking about favorite bridge scenes from books and movies and TV and whatever else. I took too long to respond, but I'm getting to it now. The only problem with taking this long to respond is that a lot of the things that I would have picked have been picked by other people, and I don't want to repeat. So in his initial video, he said not to choose anything too obvious, such as the Bridge of Khazad-dûm from Lord of the Rings, which breaks my heart because, of course, it's my favorite book, it's my favorite movie, so it's hard not to pick that one. So I thought I'm gonna try to not pick anything that's too obvious or that has been also picked by my brother Kevin from Down the Rabbit Hole. He also did his response video. So I'm going to try really hard not to pick any of his picks, but one of his picks was the Bridge of Death from Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which shouldn't have taken so long to do this video because I definitely would have put it on the list. And in picking that, he also said, that he would also maybe have chosen the rope bridge from the Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, but that's too obvious. I'm like, well, okay, I guess I can't pick that either. Another one that Weebob had said was kind of obvious is the train sequence from Stand By Me. And initially I was going to try to stick to books, but if I can't use Lord of the Rings and I can't use Stand By Me, aka The Body by Stephen King, I'm not gonna be able to stick to books because there just aren't that many scenes in books that take place on a bridge. Not that I have read, but there is one very big exception, which I will save for my last pick. So, in no particular order, I'm going to first pick a scene from the 1985 CBC TV miniseries of Anne of Green Gables. Now, as a Canadian who was a kid in the 80s, I can't not pick Anne of Green Gables. There's a sequence where her and her friends want to reenact the Lady of Shalott, and she gets into a boat. Her friends give her some flowers, they cover her with a blanket, and send her off, and she starts to recite the poem by Lord Tennyson. And unfortunately, the boat has a leak in it, and it starts to sink. So luckily, she is going under a bridge, and so she manages to get out of the boat and grab onto the framework of the bridge until Gilbert Blythe comes along in his boat and rescues her. It's such a great scene. It's so iconic. If you've ever seen that particular edition of Anne of Green Gables, you can't have been a kid in the 80s in Canada and not have seen it. So that is a great pick for me for a bridge scene. The next bridge scene on my list is from a movie called Storks. I watch a lot of kids' movies because I've got a couple of younger kids, and most of them are fine. They're whatever. They fill some time, but there's only a few that sort of really stand out. Storks is one. I really, really like Storks. It's very silly. It's got a lot of really great voice actors in it, and so the scene that I love the most is you've got the main character, this woman and a stork who are trying to deliver a baby to her rightful parents. And in their misadventures, they sort of get captured by a pack of wolves. And while they're trying to escape, they run across a rope bridge and then cut off one end so that the wolves can't come after them. But because the wolves act as a pack, they band together to create a suspension bridge made of wolves. It's hilarious. While they're in pursuit, they keep saying wolf pack form of, and then they do whatever. There's a submarine at one point, a boat, a minivan, an airplane, but my absolute favorite is when they form a suspension bridge, and I could not stop laughing when I saw it the first time. It just tickles me every time I watch that scene. I love it so much. It's so silly. And it's a lesser known kids movie. If you've got kids, and even if you don't, I would check it out. I really like that movie. Number 3, I get to actually refer to a book. So Into Thin Air by Jon Krakauer is the story of he went up Everest in 1996, and unfortunately, I can't remember, was it 3 storms kind of converged on Everest at the same time? A lot of people died. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm kind of obsessed with Everest. I have been ever since I read this book. And I don't understand people that want to climb it. I have very strong feelings about how terrible those types of people are. And anyway, there is a very well-known spot in the trek up to the summit called the Khumbu Ice Falls. And in that area, there's these giant crevasses that are God knows how deep. And they have to string together ladders to use as a bridge to cross these crevasses. It's crazy listening to it. I'm going to put up some footage just of climbers who have taken video up there. And I'm going to read a very short section here from the book, talking about the Khumbu Ice Falls, which is glaciers basically, and they're like the size of a city tower. So the glaciers' continual and often violent state of flux added an element of uncertainty to every ladder crossing. As the glacier moved, crevices would sometimes compress, buckling ladders like toothpicks. Other times a crevasse might expand, leaving a ladder dangling in the air, only tenuously supported, with neither end mounted on solid ice. Anchors securing the ladders and lines routinely melted out when the afternoon sun warmed the surrounding ice and snow. Despite daily maintenance, there was a very real danger that any given rope might pull loose under body weight. So there's a section here where he is describing crossing these crevasses on these teeny tiny ladders that bounce as you go across, and I can't imagine anything more terrifying. It's the Into Thin Air is a really good book, by the way. My second to last pick is the crossing of the Bog of Eternal Stench from Labyrinth. My mom took me to see Labyrinth. I think I was 9 when I saw it. It made me fall in love with David Bowie. I am a lifelong fan of David Bowie, and it started there and it just went on. So we've got our characters who are trying to make it to the Goblin King in the center of this labyrinth. And while they're traveling, they come across the Bog of Eternal Stench, and the bridge that you go over has given way, and Ludo, who is, I don't even really know how to describe him, so he's the big red guy in the video here. He can talk to rocks, so he calls the rocks and they sort of pop up out of the water to create sort of like this rocky pathway that they can use to get across the bog. It's a fantastic scene. I have always loved Labyrinth, and my daughter is obsessed with foxes, so of course her favorite character is Sir Didymus, and whose isn't? And finally, my last pick is actually a story. It is a story called Troll Bridge by Terry Pratchett. I love Terry Pratchett. He is one of my absolute favorite authors of all time. So in the early 90s, they created a book called After the King, which was an anthology tribute to J.R.R. Tolkien, and various authors, have short stories in there. Terry Pratchett's is called Troll Bridge, and it's about Cohen the Barbarian, who is a recurring character in the Discworld, who has gone to fight a troll who lives under a bridge. But when he gets there, the two of them start talking, and they kind of start to empathize with each other, that they are the last few people left in a world that's moving on without them. So as with everything that Terry Pratchett does, it's really silly and funny, but it's also incredibly poignant. I just loved it. It's in A Blink of the Screen, which is a collection of Terry Pratchett's short stories. I haven't been able to get my hands on a copy of After the King yet. I would like to. I think I'm going to have to go to eBay for it though. But yeah, that Troll Bridge is in a blink of the screen. So if you're interested, this is a good place to look for it. But yeah, it's a fantastic story. So that's it. Those are my picks for some of my favorite bridge scenes from kind of everything. You've got TV and movies and books. So yeah, I really enjoy doing these community questions. I'm sorry it took me so long to do this one. Particularly sorry it took me so long to do this one because people just kept taking my picks, Kevin. So anyway, that's it for me. Bye.